Webbed is a chill platformer with some puzzles, and you play as a spider. Is this meant to be incredibly cute? Yes. The spider can dance and all the characters are super friendly. Shooting webs and swinging around the forest is a good time. And as you might expect, Webbed is fairly casual, except near the end, but I'll get to that later. It's still fun, but let me tell you a little bit more about what you're doing. Again, to state the obvious, you are playing as a spider. I'm pretty sure they're a jumping spider. You can get some serious air from only jumping around. But you're not just hanging out with your pals. You're on a mission because your boyfriend was taken by an evil bird. It's up to you to get him back. However, what chance does a little spider have against a bird? Your moth friend comes up with an insane plan that relies on other animals of the forest. This includes ants, bees, and dung beetles. The game breaks up this monumental task into a bunch of micro tasks, not only to help you, but to help the other animals as well. They need a lot of crap carried around and things repaired. Webbed is pretty much a constant to-do list. Now this isn't a bad thing, but it is a bit silly. For example, the ants will help you if you do these 3 things for them first. Now you can do those in any order you want, but it isn't very natural. Get your tasks, complete them, win the game. Anyway, Webbed is at its best when you're using the webbing. The movement mechanics are great and you can gain a lot of momentum flinging yourself around. It would make sense if Spider-Man was an influence. You can easily slingshot yourself to higher ground or swing from branch to branch. Now there are 2 different kinds of webbing. The first is the obvious one you've pictured so far. Use it to attach to something, and when you release, it's over. The second kind allows you to create a web, since you can shoot one side first and then attach the other end to something else. Yes, you can even attach it to the web itself. The game's interface makes it very easy to see where the webbing is going to go. I will say it doesn't always work out the way you would expect, but you have unlimited webbing, so I can't complain. It's extremely handy when you want to take the safe route through the level. You can build a gigantic bridge of webbing through, which is much safer. Shooting webs is my favorite part of the game, and the level layouts play a large part in that. There's so much variety and space, it gives the player plenty of room for creativity. I should include the web physics and sounds are top notch. Everything about the webbing has a certain playfulness about it that is just too much fun to mess around with. There was plenty of times I caught myself slinging web just for the heck of it. Now, it's not all fun and games. The spider can shoot frickin' laser beams out its eyes. However, they are the least violent laser beams I've ever seen because they don't kill anything. They are very useful for pushing objects around with greater force than with your webs, and this comes in handy a lot more than you might expect. Anyway, as I said, Webbed gives you a task list, but I really can't call them puzzles. There isn't really any problem solving. For example, you'll see where a cog needs to go, and then it's up to you to get it there. This might include dragging it through a few areas for some variety. I didn't struggle to figure out any of the puzzles, but trying to attach a cog to the ceiling with 1,000 different webs is annoying. I'm sure you'll let me know if I was doing it wrong, but each thread of webbing only moved the cog ever so slightly more to its goal. The game repeats this mission far too often, and only near the end do you get to do something great with the webs. But I'm keeping it a secret. The game's physics tested my will to keep playing more than a few times, especially right at the end. For a casual game, it can be incredibly unforgiving. I'm worried about recommending it because of the sharp uptick in difficulty and the hassle of moving those cogs. Although I could be mistaken since I play games as quickly as possible, if I'm in a rush, these issues could feel bigger than they actually are. Overall, Webbed is incredibly cute, and I enjoyed it. For some, it's going to be a little too short, coming in at around 4 hours to complete. Also, all those other frustrating things I've mentioned before. Still, the beginning is wonderful. The art is great, and all the characters are a delight to meet. You can even dance with them. So I do recommend Webbed, but with some caution. Now, we've arrived at the end of the video. Thanks for watching. I hope this channel helps you find new games or entices you to check out something you already knew about, but either way, play new games. See ya.